Hi, I'm James Sutton. This is Road to Recovery. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and my guest today is Rodney Hackworth, who is the clinical director of Lawrence Court. Welcome, Rodney.
How you doing, James?
Good, good. Good to have you on the show. I'm glad you can make it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm the clinical director for Lawrence Court Halfway House here in Montgomery County, Rockville. So far, I've been a director here for over a year. So I recently just got this position, which I'm happy to have. I worked in an Armory Road Treatment Center for about 6 years as a counselor there, therapist. Really enjoyed the work. I've been working in this field for over 20 years, and I originally started in New York City.
Oh, okay. Well, let me
I
ask
was
you.
around for a while.
Okay, well, welcome. Now, why are you in this field? What got you interested in working in the addiction field?
Oh, that's uh, so I have a little past, growing up in New York City. It was rough, but I ended up getting incarcerated a number of times, and at some point I got tired. I got clean in the prison system, and I had a friend who had got clean and told me about NA, AA, and things like that.
Right.
And he told me, he said, "Yeah, man, if you want to do what I'm doing, man, you need to go to meetings." And I started going to meetings, and I linked up, built a support network, and linked up with a lot of people that worked in the field, and ended up getting a job as a house manager in a residential program. It was called mTAR, methadone to abstinence.
Okay.
And, that's where I got my start from.
Oh, our stories are a lot alike. That's kind of like my story too. When when I got clean, I started in my sponsor's church's sober house as the house manager, right? And then from there, I got my first job at a treatment center in Baltimore as the security, right? And I had less than a year clean. I was part of the security. I was saying, "Do y'all know what y'all doing?" You got me as the security, right? And I think within 2 years, I went back to school and started getting my license to be an addiction counselor. So,
Right.
so I kind of followed the same path. I had mentors that, encouraged me to go to school that, also were in recovery, and now they were getting master's degrees. They were addiction counselors, and helping people, right? So having lived experience and clinical training is really important.
Oh, yes, sir. Like you, I had a lot of people mentoring me, sponsors, people that network. They all encouraged me. I didn't believe in myself at the time, so they was like, just put one feet in front of the other, man. Just wake up every Saturday morning and go to that training program to become a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. And looking back now, I think it paid off.
Right, right. Now let's talk about Lawrence Court, because Lawrence Court is one of the longest standing programs in Montgomery County offering halfway house opportunity, because there's really only 2 places in Montgomery County that offer like a halfway house opportunity. That's Wells Robinson and Lawrence Court. And a lot of people, when they leave treatment, I work in the jail, and when people leave jail or like a place like Armory Road, they're not really sure what they should do in terms of housing. They may go back to where they were using. They go back to some toxic neighborhoods, toxic places, and they think they can do it, stay clean around people that's drinking and using it. It doesn't usually work out. So can you explain what Lawrence Court is,
Okay. Yeah, Lawrence Court is a halfway house. It's like you spent time in treatment and you pretty much worked on yourself and you're ready to take on more responsibility. So Lawrence Court will put you in a situation where you'll be still in treatment, but also reintegrating back into the community. And you will be building your social skills here. You will be building your work skills here. You will be maintaining your recovery here, doing it all independently on your own. Whereas you'll have less supervision here, and it's really for you to demonstrate what type of person you want to be in the community once you return.
Okay, all right, great. Now, you know, we have like Lawrence Court, which is a halfway house, and then we have Oxford houses, and then we have people that want to go and just get a room and try to stay clean in a room. Oh, so with the Oxford house, there's no supervision, there's no real treatment. It's just a bunch of people sharing a house that are working on their recovery. So in terms of the probability that you'll be successful, what's the difference between the coming to you at Lawrence Court or going to an Oxford house or just going and get a room after the person completes Avery Road after 28 days of treatment?
The difference is that Oxford houses is for people who can maintain their recovery.
Okay.
Right, on their own. Coming to me, you're telling me that you need a little more supervision before you go back into the community and do everything on your own. That you maybe need to practice social skills, or you may need to practice work skills to really find out where you're at in your recovery. You're still trying to build that foundation. So that's mainly what Lawrence Court offers you, the opportunity to build your foundation, especially with people in recovery. You know, you gotta have friends in recovery
Right.
in order for you to recover. If you go to, so people that come here, sometimes their step down will be like an Oxford house because they have, at least a year clean or 18 months or something like that. When they come to us, they got to have like a minimum of 90 days clean, kind of stabilization period.
Okay. So you don't do detox?
No, we don't do detox.
Okay. So where do your clients come from? How can a person get to Lawrence Court?
We are on the Sampshire.org network, so you can either call, contact them through the internet, contact Sampshire through the internet, and locate us on their page.
Oh, okay.
Or you can call Avery Road Treatment Center. Their number is 301-762-5613. Or you can call the number here, and we'll determine whether you fit our program or not directly.
Okay, and how would a person pay for their stay there? Do you take like insurance or cash, or how does a person pay? And how much is the rent?
So the beautiful thing about this here in Lawrence Court, there is no rent. Everything is paid through Medicaid.
Oh,
so
wow.
You would have to have insurance to come here. I know back in the days they used to pay rent here, so
Right.
they got Medicaid bonded or however it happened, but now there's no rent here. You show up to your 5 educational groups per week. We offer 12 groups a week. You got to make at least 5, and you got to show consistency in attending those groups because Medicaid monitors the group, so you got to make your groups in order to stay here.
Okay, and can a person be on MAT? Can a person be on like Suboxone or Methadone? Could they be in a program that's giving them, maintenance and still live at Lawrence Court? Or do you?
We accept MAT, most all medications, as long as you're able to manage it. As long as you're in connection with your primary care or psychiatrist and we can monitor it from that perspective, then that's fine. But we take all MATs.
Oh, good, good. Because, some houses and some programs, housing programs, they don't take sex offenders, arsonists, and some of them don't take MAT. So that's good that, your program does, because that's an opportunity that some other people may not be, privy to,
Oh, right, yeah. But yeah, we don't deny anybody the opportunity to interview, because if they don't fit the program, they don't fit the program. It depends on where they're at in their recovery.
Right. And what about criminal background? Do you do a background check, or could a person come from the jail? Because when they leave the jail, a lot of times they have a lot of clean time, right?
Yeah. So I've been wanting to talk to my director about this, because we have a program called New Horizon, and they take a lot of residents from prisons and stuff like that. So we starting that pipeline to try to get some of those guys down here.
Yeah, I know. Because I work in the JAZZ program, the Jail Addiction Services at the jail, right? So so inmates leave me and go to New Horizon, and we had a cookout in Frederick Sunday, and there was a young guy, middle-aged guy really, and he said he was going to Lawrence Court. I was so happy. He was excited, right? He said, "I'm going to Lawrence Court." I was saying, "Wow, you're going to be in Montgomery County? Oh, good for you," right? He was excited, right? So I'm looking forward to him. I gave him my number. I told him, when you get to Lawrence Court, call me. I can be part of your network. Because one of the commitments at Lawrence Court, do they have to go to 12-step meetings?
Yeah, that's a requirement. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Requirement.
Okay, so you have to go to 12-step meetings. Do you have to find a job?
Absolutely. This is a work-ready program, so you got to be ready to work when you come here. We don't take people with TDAP and disabilities and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Me and you kind of similar, because I worked in Rikers Island for like 5 years.
Whoa. That's a tough camp.
Yeah, I worked in Rikers for like 5 years, and we had a residential program we built in that was pretty successful,
Okay, yeah, JAZZ, where I work, we've been around for over 25 years. Over 25 years we've been, providing services through Health and Human Services in Montgomery County. In Clarksburg, and before Clarksburg, we were down at 7 Locks, down there.
Oh, okay.
So we're getting ready to take a pause for the cause. We're going to take a little commercial break, and then when we come back, we can pick up where we left off, and you can tell us some more about the opportunity at Lawrence Court, which is, like I said earlier, one of the only 2 halfway houses in Montgomery County. And Montgomery County is pretty big, so you guys should never be hurting for clients, right?
That's right.
And how many beds do you have?
Right now we have 20 beds.
20 beds. And how many for men? How many for female?
We have 5 for women, and the rest is 15 is for men.
Okay. All right. Well, right there, we'll take a break.
I was up on the women beds.
Yeah. Well, all right. So this is James Sutton. My guest today, Rodney, is the clinical director of Lawrence Court, and we'll be right back.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Can you see anything different as a pill?
No.
You don't know?
Fentanyl is being mixed into everything now. There's only one thing that will save somebody's life. That is naloxone nasal spray.
Fentanyl, it's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
Why would drug dealers put a lethal dose of fentanyl in drugs if they know it's so harmful?
Really just all about the money.
just didn't realize that one pill could change your whole life.
More kitchen now.
Hi, I'm James Sutton, back with Rodney, the clinical director of Lawrence Court here in Montgomery County. So Rodney, we were just talking about the capacity at Lawrence Court, and you said it was opportunity for 15 men and 5 women. And how often do you have vacancies?
So the program, the minimum stay here is approximately 6 months. Sometimes people don't start working until maybe their second month. So, you know, we're privileged to be able to extend people, but generally the stay here is around 6 months. The frequency, we don't have too many AMAs or people who relapse. So that's been, since I've been here, it has been kind of minimal. But the frequency, maybe 3 months is a good waiting period, you know.
Oh, okay. And you must be doing a good job because, you know, relapse is pretty prevalent in most programs. Some sober houses, not only relapse, but, you know, I talked to a couple of owners of some sober houses that told me, you know, that they have overdoses with fentanyl, you know. And so that with the fentanyl out here, you know, there's a lot of relapse and overdose, unfortunately, in a lot of sober houses, you know. So you must be doing a really good job.
Well, you know, I screen pretty well. My team screens pretty well. And we think we do a really good job of selecting people who are not motivated but want to stay clean. So it's different, you know.
Right, right. And what about your staff? Because in order to, you know, for those that don't know, in order to qualify as a halfway house, you have to have a person with a license. You have to have a clinical staff there to provide clinical support. And you said groups, so the groups are run by a clinician?
So the groups are ran by myself and some of the staff, like the house manager and the case manager, and then we have a counselor also that runs groups, and the support staff helps out as well.
Oh, okay. And is it 24-hour supervision?
Yeah, this is a 24-hour supervised house, yeah.
Right. So that's different from a person that was in an Oxford house because there would be no professionals there ever, really, you know.
Right.
So not only during the day when you're doing the groups, but also at night there's somebody there that's responsible, that's a staff member?
Yes, sir. We have overnight staff that comes in at 11 and leaves at 8:30, I believe. So
that's a pretty
monitored, and I'm on the call 24 hours anyway. So
okay.
The program is always being monitored. So.
Good, good. So that's a pretty secure location, a pretty secure program.
Yes, sir.
So for people that are parents and, you know, their children are coming out of treatment, they would feel a lot better to know that, you know, there's clinical supervision, you know, and there's staff there 24/7, you know?
Absolutely. It's a really good program. It's one of the really original residential programs. That's why I like it here. So yeah, it's ran pretty efficient, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I worked there one time back in the day when I worked at Abbey Road. I worked at Lawrence Court in the afternoon when it was a little short of clinical staff. And when I worked there, there was a cook. You guys had a cook. What happens with the food? How do you manage the food in the Lawrence Court?
So that has changed. So now we have like a microwave, fryer, and hot plates and stuff like that.
Oh.
Whole working stove. But people in recovery, they creative, so they make their little meals and stuff like that, healthy meals on their own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The goal is to become self-sufficient and creative, you know.
Okay.
If you got diabetes or whatever, you know you need to eat properly. You know, you can't be eating away food. So,
right.
Yeah, I would like for, the county or somebody to expand the program, because it's needed.
Yeah. Definitely. Because nutrition is part of recovery too, because when we're using, we don't really eat right. We don't go to the doctor. We don't go to the dentist. So our diet may consist of sodas and potato chips and honey buns. So we need to learn how to, reduce sugar and caffeine and different, foods that are not really healthy,
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of times we have like a person that's a nutrition expert as a cook or whatever. It really helps, in guiding us, Well,
I think what you'll do there at Tree of Hope with the medical program, that works, because when we get residents here who don't have PCs,
right,
we send them right to Tree of Hope. We refer them right to Tree of Hope to get a PCP so they can, get their health checked out and evaluated and know what's going on with them. Because I always tell them, you ain't getting in recovery to not enjoy it, So take care of your health,
Yeah, definitely. That's part of recovery, and that's why we at Tree of Hope, that's why we filled in the gap with that, because a lot of people, when they're in a mental health crisis, they stop taking their meds, and that can cause them to get arrested, continue to be homeless and, just go into a crisis. But if they just had an opportunity, like to come in at Tree of Hope and see the, the doctor and just get 2 weeks worth of meds, they can start stabilizing to the point where they can be connected to, a primary that can carry them from then on, right? So, it can prevent a lot of drama in the emergency room. So it helps Montgomery County save a lot of money when they come to our office and, get connected with their meds, whether it's diabetes or whether it's bipolar medicine or, whatever, for somatic issues as well as mental health, right? And plus they can get the addiction support at Tree of Hope,
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm glad you.
Great resource center. We utilize them a lot.
That's right. So I'm glad.
We even have we even have volunteers, because when you come into Lawrence Court, the first thing you should think about is volunteering until you get a job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we need we try to encourage them to go out and volunteer, because it's not really, you got to stay busy in recovery. I was always taught that. So, going back home to sit around and watch TV at your mother's house while you're in the treatment center, it's not ideal recovery. It's not going to work.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Early in recovery, I did a lot of service work within the 12-step fellowship. But then I started venturing out and started cooking food and taking it to the shelters and things like that, because I wanted to stay busy. So, it worked for me, exactly what you're describing. So if a person doesn't have a job, volunteering will help them gain a sense of worth too, because you actually are doing something and people are grateful. You see people say, wow, I wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for you doing this, give me a helping hand. And they may have never heard that at all, ever in their whole life.
That's right. I learned that through recovery. The way to build my self-esteem is
build your self-esteem.
People.
That's right. There you go. That's right.
Other people volunteer.
That's right. And let me ask you this: the word on the street is that Lawrence Court is supposed to be expanded. It's supposed to be a new, improved Lawrence Court coming down the pike sooner or later. Have you heard anything about that?
I know Lawrence Court is a hard place to get in. That's what I've always been told. Now, I haven't gotten that word, but, it could happen.
But do you have, does Lawrence Court have an alumni group?
Now, they do have that.
Okay.
So It's good that you mentioned that because I wanted to make that announcement. August 10th, they're going to have their alumni barbecue here at Lawrence Court. Lawrence Court in Rockville, Maryland, August 10th, and it starts at 12 p.m., I believe.
Who can come?
The community is welcome to come. All the alumni are welcome to come. And generally, we have ARTC, CC, Combined Care also. They show up here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the 10th. Okay. And how old is that building, man? Because that looks like it's from the Civil War or something, right?
Yeah, when I first seen it, I was like, whoa. I haven't, I'm from New York, so I really haven't seen a mansion like this one. This is a pretty big building. It's pretty old. We get complaints in our community because we hold a community meeting every week.
Okay.
So it's always something wrong with the plumbing.
Yeah, it's so old.
Things of that nature because the building is so old.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like some programs in DC that I'm connected with and even Wells Robson, they have a thing called a Friends of, and those are people that are business owners and people that are financially stable in the community that support that particular effort, financially, like they need a new floor or rugs or computers, and these business people from that community that see that service is needed, come up with money to improve the place, right? Wells Robinson has that as Friends of Wells Robinson. Do you have anything like that, like some angels that will help you out and will offer equipment for exercising or anything?
Yeah, we have the county here, so.
For the county, yeah.
So they're angels in their own way.
Yes, they are.
This is a historical place, and there's. I was told that you can't really have outside people come in and do anything in this house.
Oh, so Lawrence Court has been designated as a historical building?
Yes.
So you can't really do modifications
in any kind of way. Only the county people can come in here.
Oh, and work.
Do repairs and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, maybe we could add another building or something. Add an annex, right?
Yeah, give us an annex.
Yeah, I mean, because like when I was there, the women were on the 3rd floor, and it was such a long hike up those steps. A woman that was a pregnant woman wouldn't be able to make those steps.
Yeah, we have to reject some people because of that, because of their weight, their medical issues, because they can't. Those stairs are narrow,
right?
So
narrow, yeah.
People walking up on that level,
right?
And the women are still there.
So I want to say one more thing, and then I want you to give me any closing remarks. And you still have that room on the 1st floor for somebody that's in a wheelchair. So you do have a special place for a person that's handicapped, right?
Yeah, we have handicap access. Yes.
Okay. All right. I wanted to let the public know that you do have that opportunity too. So you only got a few minutes left. You want to say anything that we didn't cover that we might have missed? Is there anything?
I just want to thank you for this opportunity to shine on Lawrence Court Halfway House. This is a wonderful place. If you're serious, well, I'm not even going to say serious. If you want recovery and you know what to do and you're ready to become self-sufficient and independent and successful in your life moving forward, then this may be the right place for it.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Rodney. Nice seeing you, and I'm going to come see you at the cookout, maybe.
All right. Looking forward to it. Thank you, James.
All right. Thank you. This has been Road to Recovery. My guest today, Rodney, the clinical director at Lawrence Court here in Montgomery County. And I'll see you on the road to recovery.